Hey guys, it's Kat and I'm back today for a review and a sort of wear test on the new Suva Beauty liquid lipsticks. So these came out about a month ago and we were sent these on Beauty News just to feature, to talk about, which we really appreciate. Thank you, Suva Beauty. But I did mention one of these shades in my favorites last week, and I thought, look, I've been meaning to do a wear test and sort of a review and like a lip swatch video of these, so why not do it today? Okay, so what I ended up getting sent was all 6 shades, and if you buy all 6 shades at once, I think you get a discount and you also get this sort of holographic bag. So this is not sort of holographic. It's sort of, it's got one of those layers on it that sort of shifts the colors and it looks really cool. But I think that's what they call sort of plastic holographic sort of finish. It's a really cool makeup bag. It's got tissue in it at the moment, so I'll pull that out. So it's got tissue in it, but you can see through the products. Look how cool that looks. So I dig this. I think this is really cool. I think it's a great size makeup bag. It's clear, so you can take it on the plane. I like it, I dig it, and you can see the products in there. All right, so these are the Moisture Matte Liquid Lipsticks. They come in 6 shades. They're $18 US each. They are cruelty-free and paraben-free, and they have a tiny pinch of sweet scent. So what they say is that it's formulated for all-day hydration and flexibility, which I like. It's a unique hybrid matte lip formula that has longevity of a liquid lipstick and comfort of a cream lipstick. So that's what they're claiming. And it's supposed to be opaque, kiss-proof, one smooth stroke, can last many meals, multiple coffees, endless compliments. So that's what they claim, which is big claims. But let's go through the colors. Okay, so you can see the boxes here. They all have different colors on them to correspond with the shades. So it's kind of cool. I like that touch. I'm also aware that they're bringing out new shades of these soon. So I think with another collection. So I might be talking about those in a few weeks, but these are the shades that are the sort of core permanent first release. And these are the colors here. So we have sort of like a brighter pink, a nudie pink. We have 2 purples, which I think is interesting. One more of a true purple. This is not like a really vibrant purple, but it is definitely more of a berry purple. And then we have more of a mauve. So similar, like I'll swatch them side by side, but you can see that they're both purple tones, but one is more mauve. Then we also have this shade here, which I really love. So this is the one that I mentioned in my favorites. I love a red lip, but this is like a really interesting combination of a red, orange, and coral. So it's not just a flat red or an orangey red. It's got a pinky corally tone to it. So it's like a vibrant reddy orange coral. It's a really pretty sort of fun shade. And because it's getting warmer in Australia, this is one that I sort of find really fun for like a pop of color on the lips. And then we have like a true nude. This is a light nude, and originally I was like, this looks really light, but I actually really like it. It's probably my second favorite one. So before I actually swatch these and put them on the lips, I'll just talk about the packaging as well. You've got a nice sort of silver metallic lid. You've got some metallic writing detail. And then of course you have the shade and the details on the bottom. So these do contain 3.5 mils of product. So it's a pretty decent amount of product in there. All right, I'm gonna start sort of lightest through to sort of darkest, and I'm gonna wear a darker one on my lips. Not my favorite one. I sort of wanted to wear the red, but I thought, no, I'm gonna put the purple to the test. So I'm gonna start with the lighter shade, swatching and applying it. This is Awakening. And like I said, this is the first one I actually tried when I picked these up from the post office. This is like a beautiful sort of light, true, fair nude. I remember even Hayley saying that she wasn't sure if this was going to suit her, and I'm like, try it. And then I think she said it's one of her favorite ones because it actually is a really beautiful sort of my lips but better. And it's not too concealer lip. It actually gives a really nice effect. So let's put that on. I have done nothing to my lips. You can see it's got concealer on it. You can see they've got dry patches, but I think with lipsticks, you should really try them just as you normally would. You can see it's a little bit lighter than my normal lip color, but it's a really pretty color. These are very, very thin, the formula. They're very liquidy. They glide on really easily, but they aren't the most opaque. So that is Awakening, and this will start drying down more matte. It's got a shine at the moment because it's very wet. You can see that it is quite pigmented, like you just need a thin layer for it to look quite even on the lips, but I can see a little bit of color coming through, just a slight amount. So it's not super, super opaque, but it is nice and smooth on the lips. And if you look at this and go, it's too light, it actually is like quite a flattering color. I think it is. On my skin, it is. I'm more like an NC20, and I think this is a beautiful color. And I think if you do have more like tanned skin, you can probably still wear this, because I don't like light lip colors, but I really like this one. This is definitely one of my favorite shades. I'll just wait for it to dry down a bit. All right, so this hasn't quite dried down yet, but I'm going to move on. But you can see the color. You can see that it does take some time to dry down, so do be aware of that. And I think if at this stage, if you do start pressing your lips together, you can start moving it around still. So it's probably best to just like leave it, let it wait a couple of minutes if you really want it to dry down. But if you do talk, it's fine. It's not gonna like smear everywhere, but it doesn't dry the fastest. But yeah, I really like this color. I think it's pretty. The consistency of it is very, very thin, like I said before, so it's very comfortable on the lips, and it doesn't feel like it's getting dry or like cakey. So that's a great thing about it. So hopefully you can see now, as I was just talking, that has gone quite matte. So it does give you that matte finish. But once again, it doesn't feel like it's dry. It feels like it's a little bit, still will move with the lips. It won't crack as you move or talk, which I like. So it's kind of transfer proof, but really comfortable. Okay, the next sort of nude shade is Dreamer. So this is a lot more pink, as you can probably see. I sort of love this tone of sort of depth of nude, but this is very pink. You can see that I wouldn't really call this a nude. I'll just call it like a rose. So if this was more of a brown, I'd be like, yeah, that's for me. That's the one I'd sort of just default to, but I think this is beautiful. But this is definitely more of a pink, but it's a muted pink. So it's like a everyday wearable pink. Let's put it on. So it's definitely more of a warm pink. You can see it sort of leans a little bit. It doesn't have a blue tone to it. It's more of a sort of coral tone to it. All right, so that's the color on the lips there. It's a very pretty sort of pink. These are the kind of colors that I don't personally love. I think this one is pretty flattering, but it's not like, it's one of the ones that I probably wouldn't reach for every day, just because I don't like this sort of with my coloring. It is a personal preference, but you can see that once again, it applied very, very thin. It hasn't set down completely matte yet, but it is sort of like, it's a nice even layer, but it's not super opaque. So you can even probably see it in the swatch here. You can see a little bit, there are parts where the skin is showing through. So it's not the most opaque formula, but it's a very comfortable and even formula. I often think even is more important than opaque, because you can have a really opaque product and if it looks streaky, it looks crap. But if you have one that isn't completely opaque, but it does apply really nicely on the lips, then it looks flattering. So that's what this one is more like. And you can see as I'm sort of talking, I don't know if talking makes it dry faster, but you can see that it looks matte now. All right, then we have the shade Abstract Thoughts, which is a more vibrant pink. Once again, this is more of your warm pink. So it is just a lot brighter, more Barbie than this one. I think they do look quite similar though. So you have to love pink to love those two. But this is more of, you can imagine this having a little bit more yellow in it than it would have blue. So it's a warmer pink, a sort of brighter Barbie pink. So bit of a fun color. So let's apply this one. All right, so that is Abstract Thought. So it is very pink. I think these sort of darker colors are drying a lot faster than the nude. The nude it still looks a bit shiny compared to the other ones. This one seems to dry a lot slower. But you can see that once again, it's a nice even coverage. I think if you wanted it to be even more opaque, you can put another coat. I don't feel it's necessary, but it is not true opaque. I actually like this pink more than the last one, which is more of your muted pink, because I sort of have the opinion of, if I'm gonna go pink, like nude pinks on me look quite true pink. So if I'm gonna go pink, I'm gonna go bright. So this is a bit of a fun one. This is one that, you know, I can imagine you've got a bit of a tan, going out, having a bit of fun. This is sort of a fun shade. All right, on to my favorite one that I wear the most. This is Strange. So it is, oh, don't throw it. It is that sort of reddy, corally, orange, bright color, which I really dig. So it's there, so you can see it's quite a bright. If it's going to be anything, it's definitely more of a warm orange toned red, which I really like. I would have liked to have seen more reds and varieties of sort of orangey shades in this collection. I think it's very sort of pink purple heavy, but this is the one I've been wearing the most, so let's chuck it on. Hopefully you can see it's more of like a, I don't know, it's not just a typical red orange. It definitely has a bit of coral in there. All right, so that's the shade there. I personally really like it. It's my sort of vibrant color that I like. I do want to say that, like all the other shades, these are a nice, thin, comfortable formula, but they're not the most opaque in the world. So if you wanted this to be even brighter, you'd probably want to go with a second coat because it would really make it pop. But this is just one layer, and this is how I've been wearing it, and I think it's vibrant enough. But I might demonstrate, if you do put a little bit more on, you can make it a little bit more opaque. So can you see that the middle part now looks a little bit more vibrant? I don't know if you can tell the difference. The bottom has a second layer, the top doesn't. You can see that that's a little bit more muted because you can see my lip color through it. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but you can definitely see it in person. So yeah, if you want to make these a bit more bold, you can. I personally just like to wear it as like with one layer because the less you put on of liquid lipsticks, the more comfortable they will be. All right, time for the sort of purpley colors. This is that mauve purple in Imagination. This is a really pretty color actually, and I'll swatch it here. I'll swatch it up there. So you can see that it is sort of a cool mauvey deep nude. So it is a mauve, it is purple, but it's like a nice cross between a purple and a nude. It's not too bold and too bright. So let's put it on. And once again, you can see that if you sheer it out, you can see more of your lip color. Whereas if you sort of pack it on a bit more, you can get more of a bold sort of effect. So it is quite a versatile lip product. All right, so that is that color there. It looks quite dark. If you're quite fair, it will look quite dark on you. So for me, I think as it dries and when it's on, it just looks a little bit darker and darker. But I think this would be beautiful for deeper skin. It would be so beautiful on deeper skin, or if you're really tanned, it'd be a beautiful sort of mauve color. But on me, it looks like a true sort of mauve berry. I think this is a beautiful color. This is a really like winter color for me. So I dig it. I think with a nice sort of nude eye and a black wing liner, this is like gorgeous. So I'm not sure if you saw when I was applying this, but I sort of tried to get it as even as possible with a really thin layer. And what I also tend to do around the edge of the darker ones is sort of buff them a little bit, because I find that if you just put it on, you can get sort of a crisp line. And because there's a lot of product on the outer part, it can look darker and sort of lined your lips a little bit. So I find that it's good to just go around and just buff it a little bit. All right, the last one, because I'm wearing it all day, I'm just going to try to touch up my foundation a little bit with my sponge, because I've got that line of like no foundation around my lips from wiping all these off, and I'll just try to. Okay, the last shade, and the one I'm wearing today, is going to be the Unconscious. So this is more of like a true purple. It's less nude, it's more bold. Let's put it here, shall we? So it is definitely a bold purple. I have worn this once. All right, so I'm going to put this on, and then I'll do sort of like the wear test on this one, and we'll see how it wears throughout the day. Let's put it on. It is a beautiful color though. This is a fun color. All right, so this is the Unconscious. So you can see it is a purple. It's sort of like a true purple. It's not super like vibrant, like it doesn't look like a neon purple or anything, but it is a purple. It's a dark purple. It doesn't have a lot of warmth in it, doesn't have a lot of red, so you can see it's got a lot of blue, so it looks quite true purple. It's not like a burgundy or anything. It is a purple. I actually think this color is gorgeous. I think with my eye look today, the colors work well, so probably good that I'm doing it today. Similar to the last one, I did have to sort of buff the edge a little bit because I find that with the doe foot applicator, so these are doe foot applicators, I didn't say, but it's a traditional standard one. If you go and you start by doing a line, you can get a nice sort of rim, like a crisp line around your lips, and often that is a bit darker and more bold than the rest of your lips because these aren't completely opaque. So all I do is once the product is all off the sort of wand, I just go in and sort of buff it a little bit to make it look a lot more even. It does give a very beautiful powder finish, so it almost looks like velvet on the lips, which I really like. So this is a very nice looking liquid lipstick. It's a very comfortable liquid lipstick. So I wouldn't necessarily, once again, say that it is the longevity of a liquid lipstick and the comfort of a cream lipstick, because I can feel like it's set. So most cream lipsticks, you can, as you move your lips together, you can feel it moving around. This doesn't do this. This does have a little bit of transfer, but not much. So it's pretty kiss proof. It's pretty budge proof. But it does, you can feel that it has a little bit of moisture in it. It's not dry and flaky. It definitely feels like it clings to the lips and moves with the lips, which I really like. So these are definitely comfortable. Okay, so I have tried all these before, so I have a good idea of what I think about them, but I want to see if I can demonstrate it on camera. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to film some more stuff. I'll check back in about an hour of not eating or drinking, so you can see how it wears just me talking to the camera and just it being on my lips. And then after that, I will have something to eat and drink, and I'll check back in to show you what it looks like after eating and drinking. And then I'll keep wearing it until it gets to the point where I feel like I need to touch up. So I think that's how I generally do my liquid lipstick wear test, and I'm going to do it with this one as well. But yeah, just a reminder, those are the colors there. So let's get on to it. All right, so I realized I didn't show you guys the time when I first put this on. It was about 11 o'clock, so it is now 12 o'clock. I filmed a little bit of stuff and I have not had something to eat or drink, and it looks perfect. I do find that this is pretty common with these types of lip products, like the really thin, comfortable ones. They'll look fine, and then when you start eating and drinking, they do start to break down a little bit. So I'm going to have something to eat, and I'll check back in after I have, and then I'll sort of let you know how it goes throughout the day. All right, so I am back, and you can see straight away after eating, which I've just done, the issue with these lip products. It's not a big issue, but it's a thing. So you can see that the color, if you close your lips, the color looks great. It's very, very comfortable. That's probably the biggest thing about these lip products that I like, is the comfort of them. Especially as you wear them, they just sort of feel like they're a second skin almost. They really move with your skin. It doesn't feel like you've got a creamy lipstick like they claim, because like I said, creamy lipsticks tend to move around as you move your lips, but this doesn't feel like you've got much on your lips at all. It's very, very thin and very comfortable. But you can see that as you start to eat and drink, it does wear away the inner portion. Now, the reason being is because it is so thin that it's not like a thick layer that's really stuck to your skin. It just is a thin layer that can easily be moved by oils. And I did have toast, it did have peanut butter, it did have butter and Vegemite. So yeah, the butters and the drinks and stuff did remove that. Now, this is not typical of what I do in a liquid lipstick wear test, but I wanted to point this out because I don't think this is a big issue. With some liquid lipsticks, it's a major issue. And the reason behind it is because if you go to touch up, it can often make the lip product really cakey and really chunky and really dry and just really uncomfortable. And I've had a lot of liquid lipsticks that I've tried that do that. So pretty much once you have this thing going on and you want to touch it up, you almost have to remove the whole liquid lipstick and then put it back on for it to look good again. Whereas the reason why I think that even though these don't wear through eating, which is one of their claims, it wears a lot, but it doesn't wear evenly. Like there is like the outside part wears well, but the inside part doesn't. And mind you, this has only been on for an hour and a half. So it's 12:25. So I just had toast straight after I checked in, and straight away this has removed it. But the good thing about these types of liquid lipsticks, and there are a lot like this on the market as well, is that you can easily touch them up without having to remove the whole lip. So that's what I'm actually going to do. Normally in these liquid lipstick wear tests, I don't touch them up, but I want to show you how easy it is to do. So all you need to do is either you can just go in and just patch the inner part. So even though I generally don't like to touch up liquid lipsticks in these wear tests, I did want to show you that, because I think if you were just looking at it and going, okay, it wears off after food, it's shit, it's actually not the case. These are just, there's a trade-off often with comfort versus longevity, and these being a very comfortable sort of second skin feeling liquid lipstick that's very thin and is just very easy to wear. So if you don't like those dry liquid lipsticks, you might actually like these, but the trade-off is that they do remove a lot easier than those really budge-proof ones. But as long as you're aware of it, you can easily touch it up. And it wasn't the most hideous thing. It's not as if you were out having lunch and you're like, oh my God, it looks horrible. It just means that when you go to the bathroom and you see yourself, you might want to just touch up by just putting a little bit on the inner part or just tapping a little bit more. And once again, it goes back to looking completely flawless. So that's one pro and con about these, is that they do wear off, but that reapplication is really easy. All right, so it is 5 hours into this wear test. So I did touch up last time I checked in, and that was, what was that, 2.5 hours ago, 3.5 hours ago? What time was it? I don't know. It'll be on the screen. But I do want to point out that this was going perfectly until just recently, when I decided to have a Tim Tam Slam, where with my cup of tea, I was sucking through a Tim Tam. The drink through the Tim Tam, it gets all melty and then it gets on your mouth. So this isn't looking too bad. I think it actually looks worse on camera than it does in person. But yeah, up until literally 5 minutes ago, when I decided to have my Tim Tam Slam, this was looking fine. My rest of my makeup is not looking so great. It's looking horrible. Why is there a mark here? I don't know. But yeah, so I think definitely it shows that this lip product lasts well if you aren't eating, if you aren't having something that will start breaking it down. I had a cold drink, it was fine, and then it was more when I was having something to eat just then that it started breaking down. So we'll go through the claims of this again, because I think it hits on some but not others. So firstly, it says that it's formulated for all-day hydration and flexibility. I would say that it's definitely flexible, so it doesn't feel like it's cracking, it doesn't feel like it's drying. I wouldn't say it's hydrating. I would say that it is just not drying. So it is a lipstick that it's not a lip balm. It's not adding hydration to my lips, but at the same time, it's not drying them out. I don't feel like I need to scrub it off and put a lip balm on, which often I feel like I want to do with sort of heavier liquid lipsticks. So I think, yeah, maybe. And then it says that it's a unique hybrid matte lip formula that has the longevity of a liquid lipstick and the comfort of a cream lipstick. Like I said before, I think this is not 100%. I think it does have a better longevity than just a normal bullet lipstick, but I think this doesn't feel like a creamy lipstick, because creamy lipsticks, you move your lips together and they tend to move around, whereas this one, it is a more budge-proof, dry, sort of longer wear formula. So I would just say that it feels like a very, very thin, comfortable liquid lipstick. So then the next claims that it's opaque, it's kiss proof, and that it will last you through many meals, multiple coffees, and endless compliments. I think that's a bit of a mixed bag as well. I think it's not necessarily fully opaque, but I do think that it applies nice and even. So you can build it up to get it more opaque, but I think that once it again takes away some of the comfort. I would say that it's probably, I wouldn't call it kiss proof. It is pretty budge proof. It won't smear on your mouth, but if you do touch it a lot, it will transfer a little bit. And that's just the nature of the comfortable, not super drying formula, which I am fine with. I think it will transfer onto your cup. It will transfer onto things that you're, if you're touching your mouth, but it's not going to smear and smudge like a cream lipstick. And then the claim that it's going to last through meals and multiple coffees. I think coffee is possibly, but multiple meals, not so much. As soon as you do eat, this does start to break down. Not like it starts to wear around the inner part of the lips, which is, you know, you can easily touch it up. I do also want to say that the lip color I'm wearing that I did this wear test on is probably the one that you see the variations in wearing down a lot more easily because it's a bold color. So it's the most unrealistic to my lip color, so you can see it wearing down. I find that when I wear a nude or when I wear the red, I don't see that it's as it doesn't look like it's wearing down as much because it sort of fades down to the lip color and looks a little bit more natural. All right, guys, I have very different makeup on. I was just editing the review of this and realized that my battery was dying at the end of that video, and I thought I got the conclusion in, but I didn't. It had cut it off, and so I'm here to conclude it. So I think overall with the Suva Beauty Moisture Matte Liquid Lipsticks, I think they don't live up to all the claims that they say on the card. I think pretty much the claims that they put on there are like the ideal liquid lipstick. Comfortable, long wearing, pigmented, lasts through food and drinking, and all day, and I just don't think that these do deliver on that. In saying that, these are not bad liquid lipsticks. I think for me personally, I do like a liquid lipstick that will last through at least a light meal, and those didn't. You'll see also in the last footage, you could see that it started losing the matte shine because the matte finish, and it looked shiny because of the oils in the biscuit that I was eating had sort of started breaking down the matte finish. So I think that their Achilles heel is definitely food. But prior to that, and I'm kicking myself, I didn't put in the little part where before I ate the biscuit and the cup of tea, because I had it on for like a further 3 hours after touching up, and it looked perfect the whole time. So even though these aren't my perfect liquid lipstick because I prefer lipsticks that can last through meals a little bit better, I do think that the shade that I wore yesterday is particularly shows the wearing a lot more than these other shades. These fade down to more of a natural look, so these are a little bit more forgiving, whereas this one, you know, you can really see the fading a lot more. But I do think these have a place because if you prefer a liquid lipstick that is more comfortable, if you're worried about the feel of like a heavy liquid lipstick that feels like paint on your lips, starts cracking when you move, starts getting chunky as you eat and drink, these don't do that. These are very, very comfortable, and that's their sort of main selling point in my opinion. They're very easy to touch up, so that's also really great, but you just have to be aware that similar to a matte bullet lipstick versus a creamy bullet lipstick, the matte ones last a bit longer, the creamy ones wear off but are more comfortable. This is sort of like that equivalent in a liquid lipstick form, even though it's got a matte finish. I hope that makes sense. So yeah, if you're into comfort or you like the colors, I do recommend checking these out. I have been wearing, like I said, the red and the nude quite a lot. I think they are my favorite out of the bunch. And I'm keen to see more shades from Suva Beauty because I think this collection is very pink, purple heavy, whereas I sort of like these warmer shades. So I want to see more of these, and I'll probably wear them more. Normally what I do with my liquid lipstick wear test is I rank them amongst other ones that I've tried, and I'm not going to do that anymore simply because I find that a lot of liquid lipsticks deliver different things. So yeah, I'm struggling a little bit trying to compare these to other things because if you just look at the things like longevity, these don't hit it, but when you look at comfort, these are great. So it's sort of hard to compare. All right, guys, hopefully you enjoyed that. And sorry that I had to check back in the next day because the footage was gone. But if you want to check these out, I'll link them down below. And there are a few new shades. I think 2 new shades coming very soon. All right, give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.